When tables turn, Damien leaned back in his chair, clearly intrigued by Riley's bold opening. "I'm definitely the adventurous type. Tell me what you're thinking." Riley glanced at Jade, who looked like she wanted to disappear under the white tablecloth. Perfect. Time to deploy her arsenal of embarrassing revelations. "Well," Riley said, lowering her voice conspiratorially, "since you're feeling adventurous, I'd recommend our strongest red wine. You'll need it. Jade here has some interesting dinner conversation habits that might catch you off guard." "Riley," Jade hissed, but Riley was on a roll. "For instance, she has this fascinating ability to turn any topic into a discussion about her pet ferret, Mr. Whiskers. Last week, she spent an entire charity gala explaining ferret grooming techniques to the mayor." Damien's eyebrows shot up. "A ferret?" "Oh, yes," Riley continued, warming to her theme. "She carries photos in her purse. Would you like to see them? I'm sure she'd love to show you Mr. Whiskers wearing his little Halloween costume." Jade's face turned scarlet. "I don't have a ferret." "Right, I forgot," Riley said with mock seriousness. "You had to give him away because of the incident with the wedding cake, but we don't need to talk about that on a first date." Instead of looking horrified, Damien laughed. It was a rich, genuine sound that made other diners turn to look. "What incident with the wedding cake?" "I really shouldn't say," Riley said, pretending to hesitate. "It's not my story to tell. But let's just say that ferrets and three-tiered cakes don't mix well, especially when there are 200 wedding guests watching." Jade buried her face in her hands. "None of this is true." "Oh, and there's also her sleepwalking," Riley added cheerfully. "Last month, she walked right into her neighbor's apartment and reorganized their entire spice rack, in alphabetical order, while completely asleep. The neighbors found her in the morning, still in her pajamas, labeling everything with a label maker she'd somehow acquired in her sleep." Damien was now grinning widely. "She sleepwalks with office supplies?" "It's a gift," Riley said solemnly. "Though, her roommate did have to install special locks after the incident with the neighbor's fish tank." "There was no fish tank incident," Jade protested. "Right, because you alphabetized the fish food before anything bad could happen," Riley said smoothly. "Very responsible sleepwalking." By now, Damien was openly laughing, and Riley noticed he wasn't looking at Jade at all. His attention was completely focused on her, watching her perform this elaborate character assassination with obvious delight. "So," Riley continued, "for wine, I'd suggest something strong enough to help you process all of Jade's unique qualities. She's also a very enthusiastic karaoke performer, exclusively show tunes, at volume levels that have been measured by neighbors with decibel meters." "I don't even like karaoke," Jade mumbled. "And she collects vintage doorknobs," Riley added. "She has over 300 of them. She names them all and has very strong opinions about their personalities." Damien turned to Jade with sparkling eyes. "Is this all true?" "Absolutely none of it," Jade said firmly. "What a shame," Damien said, and Riley could swear he sounded genuinely disappointed. "I was getting excited about meeting someone so wonderfully eccentric." Riley paused. Her mental sabotage script suddenly derailed. That wasn't the reaction she'd expected. Most men would be looking for the nearest exit by now. "You were excited about the ferret stories?" she asked. "Honestly, yes. My life is filled with board meetings, profit margins, and people who tell me exactly what they think I want to hear. The idea of someone who reorganizes spice racks in her sleep and has strong opinions about doorknob personalities sounds refreshing." Riley stared at him. This was not going according to plan. "Well," she said, scrambling to regroup, "there's also her cooking. She once tried to make scrambled eggs and somehow managed to set off 3 smoke alarms and flood the kitchen simultaneously." "Now that," Jade said hotly, "actually is true." Damien turned to her with renewed interest. "How did you flood a kitchen making eggs?" "I forgot I was running water in the sink to soak a pan, and when the smoke alarms went off, I got distracted trying to fan them with a dish towel and the sink overflowed," Jade admitted. That's actually impressive, Damien said. It takes real creativity to cause that much chaos with such simple ingredients. Riley watched in growing amazement as her sabotage mission backfired spectacularly. Instead of being repelled by Jade's supposed flaws, Damien seemed charmed by the idea of them. But more concerning was the way he kept looking at Riley herself, as if she were the most interesting person in the room. I should go get those drinks, Riley said, suddenly feeling the need to escape. Wait, Damien said, and something in his voice made her stop. What's your story? You seem to know Jade quite well, and you have a remarkable talent for storytelling. Riley felt heat creep up her neck. I'm just the waitress. I doubt that, Damien said quietly. Nobody is ever just anything. Their eyes met across the table, and Riley felt something shift in the air between them. It was like a small electric shock, unexpected and impossible to ignore. I should really get those drinks, she repeated, backing away from the table. As she walked toward the bar, Riley's mind was spinning. The plan had been simple. Make Jade look unsuitable for marriage, collect her $50, and go home to her instant noodles. Instead, she'd somehow managed to make Jade more interesting to Damien while creating an entirely different problem. Because unless she was completely misreading the situation, the tech billionaire wasn't falling for her best friend. He was falling for the waitress who was supposed to be sabotaging the date, and the most terrifying part was that Riley was starting to fall right back.